So for this myth to get busted, I'll have to...
Alright. We can watch that. No, I don't want to jump ahead. I'm trying... Here. Okay. We'll watch this one. I busted 100 myths in Fallout 4.
Myth number 1. You can survive standing under the Pridwin when it explodes. So for this myth to get busted, I'll have to use console commands. First, I'll go through the railroad quest line and plant bombs on the Pridwin. Then I'll teleport to the Boston airport right under it as it explodes. Let's see what happens. So you can survive the initial impact, but the fire afterwards will start causing damage. So you have to quickly get out of there, or you'll die.
Oh, God.
Despite the fire, I'm going to call this myth confirmed. You can survive standing under the Pridwin when it explodes. Myth number 2. There's a secret random encounter with Kellogg. Occasionally, Reddit posts will pop up claiming that Kellogg randomly appears in the Commonwealth, stalking the sole survivor. Curious, I dug through Fallout 4's game files to see if there was some sort of unknown encounter with him. And yes, there actually is a random encounter called REC KMK MQ202. It was supposed to trigger after completing the Dangerous Minds quest at one of the random encounter locations. In this encounter, you would hallucinate being attacked by one or multiple Kellogg's.
Whoa.
After defeating him, the hallucinations would vanish, like there was nothing there in the first
Good.
place. It seems that Kellogg was intended to haunt you long after killing him at Fort Hagen.
Huh.
You can destroy a vertibird by landing on it with power armor. I've got my power armor and jetpack ready. Now I'll summon a vertibird and see if I can land on top of it and destroy it. Oh, I went right through it.
Oh.
I also tried jumping on the vertibird parked at the Cambridge police station, but sadly nothing happened.
Aw.
So, myth busted. You can
Nope,
survive the
can't do
Institute
it.
explosion while being inside it. So I'm going to try and survive the massive explosion of the Institute, the one we usually witness from afar, atop of the mass fusion building. However, I won't actually be inside the Institute itself, because nothing actually happens within that cell. Instead, I'll trigger the detonation and position myself directly in front of the CIT building, which sits above the Institute.
Yeah, let me
and
know
its
if my
reactor. Let's see if I
my
can
audio was
survive the
good and
blast.
if the video was drowning me out.
Alright, wow. And just like that, the CIT building is gone, leaving a massive hole behind. I'm taking a lot of radiation damage, so I need to get out of here. But I did survive the explosion itself while being inside it. So, myth confirmed. Apparently, you can use power armor as an indestructible shield.
Whoa.
I've got a fully repaired Brotherhood of Steel power armor at 100%, and I'm fully healed up too. So here's the plan. I'm going to exit the power armor and see if it can protect me from a super mutant suicider.
Whoa. Uh-oh. No, Johnny, get!
Yes, it can. I
Beat
didn't
it.
take any damage, and my power armor is still at 100%.
No, he is not
There's
hungry.
a catch, though. You have to really time
He's
it
just
right,
being a
otherwise
piggy.
it won't work. You can survive a nuclear detonation in the Pulowski Preservation Shelter. To test this, I'll be using a mod that changes the mini-nukes fired by the Yangtze submarine to real nuclear bombs, similar to the one we see at the beginning of the game.
Oh, shit.
After helping Zhao get the submarine up and running, I'll drop the homing beacon and enter the Pulowski Preservation Shelter to see what happens.
Nope.
Yeah, it did not save me. I died instantly. I also tried testing this with a generic NPC to see how they fare. And yeah, the same result. You can't survive a real nuclear detonation in the Pulaski Preservation Shelter,
Those
which
things
explains
are-
why there are so
yeah.
many skeletal remains found in these things. You can block bullets
No,
while
I did
holding
not
a dead
name the
character's
dog
body
after
in front
Johnny
of you.
Cage.
To properly
The
test if
dog
this is
was
true,
already
I placed
here
a
when
turret
I
in a
moved
small
in.
room,
It's my
and I'm going
mom's
to use
dog.
this
He's
dead
named
raider
after
to hide
Johnny
behind.
Ringo,
The reason I
which
chose
is a
the turret is
character
because when
from
holding a body in front of you, NPCs in the game
Tombstone.
treat it as cover, often trying to find a better angle to shoot at you. Since the turret can't move, it allows me to see if its bullets can penetrate the raider's body and hit me. It looks like the bullets can't get through. While it's trickier with moving enemies, you can definitely block bullets while holding a dead character's
Whoa, so I
body
can
in
use
front
a
of you.
human
Myth
shield.
confirmed.
I have to remember that next
Sentry
time.
bots will start walking if you blow out their
Operation
wheels.
Human Shield.
Usually, we see these monstrous machines rolling around all over the place, with hostile ones being able to quickly close the distance between you
shit.
and them with increased speed. But what happens if you target their wheels? Will it immobilize them and turn them into sitting ducks?
Interesting
Oh man, that
What?
was terrifying.
That is terrifying. Holy
It
shit.
can walk, but just really slowly. Putting a trash can on a settler's head will make them invincible. Supposedly, if you put one of
What?
these trash cans on a settler's head, it will act as invincible armor for them. I did try shooting them, and the trash can does seem to block bullets. But let's see what happens in an actual fight. I'll spawn in a couple of super mutants and see if the settlers can take them out without dying. I also disabled the essential status for all NPCs in the game. Nope, they're getting massacred.
Oh, you
This
spit it
myth
up.
is definitely not true.
Ah.
You can survive standing under the XMB booster engine in ArcJet systems as it fires. Usually, when running under the booster engine while it's firing, you pretty much die instantly. It can kill anything from a behemoth to a Mirelurk queen.
Holy
Still,
crap.
I'm going to attempt to endure it. I'll get into my power armor and have 100 stim packs on me. I'll position myself under the engine, and as it fires, I'll start spamming the stim packs while the booster engine burns me. Yeah, I did it. It
Wow.
was close, but you can survive standing under the booster engine as it fires. You can block and derail the roller coaster in Nuka Galaxy by placing heavy objects on its track. To test this, I placed various large objects, cars, boxcars, and even a boat, directly on the roller coaster's track. Let's see if they can derail the rocket and stop the ride. Here we go.
Fire thrusters!
Okay, it went through the car. Can the bus stop it?
Quantum speed!
Nope, passed straight through. Now for the last big obstacle. And the ride keeps going. It seems the rocket can just pass through anything. Myth busted. A child can sometimes enter your power armor and turn into an abomination. So this myth
What is it, like
claims that if
stretch
you
out their
leave your
model or
power
something?
armor
Is that what you mean?
unattended with a fusion core inside, a child will sometimes be tempted to climb in, which will transform them into some sort of monstrosity. I'm going to leave my power armor around Donnie on the pier and see if he's curious enough to get inside. Here he goes. Oh my god, Donnie, where's your head? What is this thing? I can't believe
Oh
it, but
my
it's actually
God.
true. If a child gets into your power armor,
Oh,
they turn into some
jeez.
sort of
That's
abomination.
That is
Dear
terrifying.
God, poor Donnie. You can throw junk into the molten metal and walk over it to get the heavy incinerator. In Saugus Ironworks, there's a heavy incinerator.
Wait, there
hanging in
is?
A partially tipped over crucible filled with molten metal. If you try jumping into it to get it, you'll
What?
die instantly. But what if
I don't
throw a
remember
bunch
that
of
being
junk
in there.
into the crucible to fill it up? Can I walk over it and grab the weapon? First, I tried filling the crucible with a bunch of bowling balls, basketballs, and giddy-up buttercup torsos. No luck. I still died. Then I tried using fully assembled buttercup toy horses, and well, you can kind of get it if you stand on top of them from the outside.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
But if you move too far inside, you'll still die.
Oh,
So
crap.
I guess you can. Kind of.
I did not even
Rad roaches
know
can
there
give
was a
birth
weapon
during
in there.
Combat. There are claims out there that some rad roaches can give birth to smaller baby rad roaches during combat. One of these rad roaches can supposedly be encountered during the Gauntlet in Nuka World, the death trap built by Nuka World raiders. The roach will spawn in the area being filled with gas. Oh, that's a big one.
Holy shit.
Wait a minute.
Ooh!
Yep, it definitely gave birth.
That's
This game is so gross sometimes.
Uh-huh. That's
Landing
disgusting.
on a mattress will reduce fall damage. so I'll just be wearing my Bolt suit and first jump to demonstrate the damage I take jumping onto the ground. Now I'll jump onto
Little
a
more than half
mattress
your
from the
life.
same height. So I did take less damage,
little
although the
bit.
difference is pretty minor. I tested this a couple of more times, putting other furniture to jump onto, to see if the damage taken is similar, and it is. It seems the reduced damage is more about the height of the object from the ground, rather than its softness.
Did you try it with different beds?
You can
or
block all
does
of
that matter?
Behemoth's melee attacks without taking a single point of damage with your bare hands. Let's try
I think
it.
I saw somebody do this actually.
And yes, you can block the Behemoth's melee attacks
Wow.
with just your hands, and you won't take any damage.
I don't know how
you can
it
sprint
doesn't just
forever
smash
with no
you into
AP
paste
cost
immediately.
if your endurance is over 20. To test this, I'm going to boost my endurance above 20 using a combination of items and perks. I'll begin with 10 special points in endurance, buy the champion's left arm from Lucas Miller, and the Black Ops chest piece from Deb in Bunker Hill. Equip a green shirt and combat boots with the Sea Captain's hat. Take the solar-powered perk. Pick up the endurance bobblehead. And lastly, I'll get the
Or you
Scat
could have
magazine
just cheated and
in
give
the
yourself
Nuka World
extra
DLC
points to
titled
spend.
That No Caps Rage. This magazine gives a +3 strength and +3 endurance bonus
Whoa.
if you have fewer than 100 caps. Now that we have everything, let's see if we can sprint without our AP going down. Yeah, it looks like our action points aren't depleting while sprinting. Now, I'll
Nice.
remove the green shirt and combat boots, which drops my endurance to 20. And there it is. The AP starts going down as we sprint. So indeed, you can sprint forever as long as your endurance is over 20. Myth confirmed.
Wow.
You can climb walls using cones and other miscellaneous objects.
What?
To do this, you need to grab a cone or any other miscellaneous object with a large enough surface area and position yourself against the wall while holding it. Once you're in place, jump on top of the object and walk backwards into the wall. And yeah, there you
Whoa.
go. You can scale pretty much any wall like this, as long as the surface is smooth. The Nuka Express monorail
I need
can
to try
kill you
that.
if you stand in front of it. Since the monorail hangs from the track instead of riding on it, the only place I can test this is at the Nuka station. To do this, I'll use the Force Enable Player Controls console command and teleport myself to the station. Then I'll stand directly in the path of the monorail as it enters the station.
Please knock him over. Oh, it just
Looks
kind of...
like it just pushes you along until it stops,
Yeah.
and I didn't take any damage. It might be because the monorail is just moving too slowly, so it definitely can't kill you. Myth busted. You can knock off the shell of a Mirelurk without killing it. To try to achieve this, I will be using explosive weapons, specifically the Spray and Pray legendary submachine gun. Let's see if I can knock off its shell without killing it. It took a couple
Oh,
of tries,
wow.
but yes, you can knock it
Now
off
he's
without
naked.
killing the Mirelurk. And man, do these guys look weird without it. You can drink the mass fusion reactor coolant and survive. To test this myth, I'll suit up in a hazmat suit and stock up on Radaway. Let's see if we can quench our thirst with some reactor coolant. Yeah, no. You die instantly when you drink it. Next, I'll try
Damn.
drinking the coolant while wearing the robes of Adam's Devoted, obtained in the Far Harbor DLC. This outfit has a unique effect that grants increased radiation resistance. Here's how it works. You need to max out your radiation bar. Once it's full, consume an irradiated item, like irradiated blood. When your radiation level passes 900 rads, your pit boy will stop showing changes. But in reality, you've become fully immune to radiation. Let's try drinking the coolant now.
Doesn't that make you a ghoul?
Wow, that's a lot of radiation.
Holy
but thanks to
shit,
the
no
robes,
wonder
I
you die
survived.
instantly
Myth
when you drink it
confirmed.
normally.
Institute synths hate cats. This is a weird one, but
No,
for some reason,
kitties!
Institute
No!
synths seem to have a problem with cats. If an Institute synth comes into contact with a regular house cat, they will immediately try to kill it, no matter the
Oh.
location, situation, or even if there's a stronger enemy around.
Poor
They'll just go
babies.
straight for the cat.
Why?
And the poor cats, they don't stand a chance. They can't defend themselves at all. All they can do is run away. Pretty creepy.
Why?
You can fly up to the Pridwin with a power armor jetpack. Alright, I'm going to try this while drinking Nuka-Cola Quantum, which restores action points so I can keep flying longer. Normally, you run out of AP pretty fast while jetpacking.
Why does jetpacking cause action points? I don't get that. Like, why does it consume
What?
AP?
No, it seems like you just hit an invisible ceiling before you can get
Oh.
there. Next, I'll try to get up to the airport control tower and jump from there. I'll have to use the wall sliding glitch and pop some Ultra Jet to slow time while I make the jump.
Yeah.
But after many tries, it still doesn't work. Again, it seems like there's some kind of invisible barrier stopping you from flying to the top.
Well,
I'm gonna
damn.
have to call this myth busted. You can save Finn in Good Neighbor from Hancock. When entering Good Neighbor for the
Don't know why
first
you'd want
time,
to.
Finn will try to extort you for caps. Before the situation escalates, Mayor Hancock steps in, resulting in an argument between the two, and ultimately Finn's death. But is it possible to save Finn? And what happens if you do? To test this, I will use a mod that disables the essential status of all NPCs in the game, making it possible to kill Hancock. Then I will enter Good Neighbor, and instead of speaking to Finn, I will use a stealth boy and take out the mayor.
Why did you kill Hancock?
Now I'll wait till Fahrenheit calms down and stops searching for me. Okay, now something interesting happens. Rather than standing around like he normally would, Finn will walk over to the third rail bar and start hanging around there instead. He
Huh.
does sometimes die when he enters the bar for no clear reason, but when he
I guess
doesn't,
'cause he's
he
scripted to
actually has
die.
dialogue reacting to Hancock's death.
I ain't got time to hassle you. With Hancock gone, it's time to lay low. Mayor's dead. Good riddance. He was getting soft.
Uh-oh.
This dialogue is pretty buggy, likely because it wasn't meant to be triggered in regular gameplay, so
Probably.
sometimes it doesn't play at all.
Got things to deal with. Step off.
Also, occasionally, Finn will still act like he's trying to extort you for his insurance money.
I told you, you can't walk around Good Neighbor without insurance.
So in conclusion, yes, you can save Finn from Hancock, and he actually continues to live his life instead of just standing around in one place. You can drive the old abandoned pickup trucks with a pipe pistol. Supposedly, there's a glitch that lets you use these old pre-war pickup trucks as transportation. To do it, you'll need a regular pipe pistol. Drop it on the ground, pick it up, turn it upside down, then jump into the bed of the truck while holding it. Now carefully push the pistol to the rear window and start
What?
walking forward. It takes some practice, but yeah, you can drive these old
How
pickup trucks
in
with
the
a pipe
hell
pistol.
did anyone figure out you could do
You can
that?
go straight to Kellogg in Fort Hagen after exiting Vault 111. Normally, the main quest leads you through various locations like Diamond City and Vault 114 before reaching Kellogg. But can you skip all that and go directly to
Oh,
it?
I've seen
Let's
people
find
do this
out.
before,
After
yeah.
leaving Vault 111, I headed straight to Fort Hagen. The first thing I noticed was that the turrets on the rooftops were missing. But once inside, Synths, just like during the main quest, appeared and attacked me. After clearing them out, I made my way deeper into the building until I reached this room. Upon closer inspection, I discovered that the elevator to the Fort Hagen Command Center, where Kellogg is hiding, is
Oh,
blocked
yeah, it's
off.
blocked
This
off.
makes it impossible to continue further and confront Kellogg. So no, you can't go straight to Kellogg in Fort Hagen after exiting Vault 111. The quest sequence must be followed to progress. Myth busted. Fallout and the Elder Scrolls share the same universe. Many fans throughout the years have speculated that Fallout and the Elder Scrolls might share the same universe. Let's dive into this theory and see if there's any truth to it. In Fallout 4 on the Pridwin, there's an interesting clue in the research area that has sparked this speculation. You can find some mysterious glowing plants which, according to one of the terminals there, are named experimental NRT-001 or Ninroot, a
Bro,
very
are you
familiar
playing
plant from the Elder
Skyrim
Scrolls series.
music in the background of a
Apparently,
Fallout
Brotherhood
video?
Scouts discovered this experimental plant along a riverbed. This has led many fans to believe that both game series are set in the same universe. However, in 2017,
I think they
Pete
confirmed it
Hines,
was just an
then
Easter
Bethesda's
egg.
VP of Marketing, addressed this theory in an interview with GameSpot. He said, I haven't the foggiest notion how anybody could make the leap that they are in fact part of the same thing. We made the Elder Scrolls, and a completely different developer and publisher came up with Fallout, which we then acquired. I don't think there's any universe in which those universes are in the same universe. That's not a thing. So despite the intriguing Ninroot Easter egg, it looks like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls don't share the same universe.
Yeah, it's just an Easter egg.
You can die by running into an abandoned car. Apparently,
What?
one of the biggest hidden killers in Fallout
Will you
4
blow
are
it
the
up?
stationary abandoned cars.
Because I know sometimes if
littering
they
the
get
Commonwealth.
damaged in a
For some
gunfight, they can
reason,
blow up and
supposedly
kill you.
running into them can cause an instant death. To test this, I ran into multiple cars scattered across the map, and after a couple of attempts, I actually died from simply bumping into one.
Wait, what?
It doesn't happen every time, but it's clear that these seemingly harmless abandoned vehicles can unexpectedly
though?
turn lethal. Myth confirmed.
That's so
You can have
random.
Travis follow you forever if you leave his quest hanging. During the Confidence Man's side quest, given to you by Vadim in Diamond City, Travis will temporarily join you as a follower during the second part of the quest to help fight the raiders in Beantown Brewery. If you abandon the quest at this point, Travis will remain in your party indefinitely, essentially becoming a secondary companion.
Wow.
He's marked as essential, so he can't be killed. To test this
Awesome.
myth, I decided to see how far Travis could go with me. I completed the main quest with Travis tagging along, and he followed me everywhere, from the Pridwin to the Institute, and even to Nuka World and Far Harbor. He stayed with me throughout the side quests as well. So it seems you can keep Travis as a companion for as long as you leave his quest unfinished. Myth confirmed. Proctor Ingram has legs. Usually we see Proctor Ingram stuck in a power armor frame because she lost her legs during a conflict with one of the super mutant clans back in the
Oh.
capital Wasteland. But is she really missing her legs? To test this, I'll use a console command to force Ingram out of her power armor. Let's see what happens. Well. Turns out Ingram has been playing us all for fools. She does have legs. Using a scope, you can hack robots from a distance. There are old videos out there showing people hacking robots from a distance using a scope, as long as you have the robotics expert perk. Usually, you have to get really close to hack them, so this would be a super useful trick. During my testing though, it doesn't seem to work anymore. I maxed out the robotics expert perk and tried different scopes, but nothing. After looking through some old forum posts, it turns out that this was a bug that Bethesda patched shortly after Fallout 4's release, and unfortunately you can't get it to work anymore. So I guess this one's busted now. A bag of fertilizer can kill you if it falls on your head. To test this one, I built a structure in Sanctuary and placed a bag of fertilizer on top, right on the edge. Now I'll stand underneath it and use a fragmentation grenade to make it fall. Wow, yup, a bag of fertilizer can indeed kill you if it
Damn.
falls on your head. Myth confirmed. Ghosts will sometimes use the weight bench in your settlement. This myth is a bit out there, but apparently there are ghosts in the game that will sometimes use the weight
What?
bench that you can build if you have the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC. To test this, I built a weight bench in one of my settlements, then fast traveled away, waited for a couple of days, and returned to check. I figured the best time to check would be around 3 AM at night. What the? It's moving by
Bruh!
itself. What is going on here?
It's
The
a
settlers are all asleep
ghost!
and no one is using it. It's just moving on its own. Yikes, well I guess ghosts do exist in Fallout 4, and apparently they like to work out. You can survive the nucleus explosion while being inside the facility. The way I'm going to try to survive the explosion first is by maxing out my health and wearing the best power armor in the game. As you can see, I have pretty good damage resistance, and I've selected certain perks that should enhance my survivability. I also stocked up on Stimpaks and Radaway. Alright, let's see if I can survive the explosion. Damn,
Nope.
I died. Next, I tried running into the Nucleus Command Center, which is technically a separate cell from the naval facility. Let's see if I survive in here.
Nope.
Nope, still died. The explosion affects this area too. I even increased my health using console commands, but it seems like it's just an automatic death, no matter what. So no, you can't survive the explosion. You can survive flying in the USS Constitution. After helping Ironsides and his crew repair the ship's systems, there's a rumor that you can actually stay aboard and survive the USS Constitution's flight. Let's see if that holds true. I've completed all the repairs, and the ship is ready for takeoff. Now, you can't just stand on the deck. Supposedly, to survive, you have to go inside the ship while it's flying, then exit once it crashes into the building.
We did it! Victory at last! Helm reports we are a quarter fathom closer to the Atlantic. By my calculations,
Hey, it worked! I'm still alive! Only now, I'm stuck on top of a skyscraper. Luck affects special Vault-Tec lunchbox loot. These special Vault-Tec lunchboxes, when opened, spawn a random item and become collectible. They can give you anything from junk to consumables, but sometimes they spawn rare collectible robot models. What I want to test is whether your luck stat affects how often or how quickly these models appear. First, I'll try my luck stat at 8. Each time I reloaded my quick save, the reward was randomly generated. Then, I boosted my luck to 59 using the Party Boy perk and a lot of, party drinks. I saved and kept reloading my quick save to see if I'd get the models more frequently. But no, the lunchbox still generates the loot randomly with the same frequency, just like before. Myth busted. You can use harpoons from the harpoon gun to launch characters like a trebuchet. This is a fun one. If you have the harpoon gun from the Far Harbor DLC and a bunch of harpoons, you can create a kind of makeshift trebuchet to launch characters around. Here's how. First, drop a fat man on the ground. Then shoot harpoons into the front of it, stacking them so they extend outward and get longer and longer. Next, pick up the fat man. If the harpoons stay attached while you're moving it, the setup worked. Now, let's try launching a behemoth with this contraption. Yeah, it worked.
Again, how in the world did somebody figure out that you could do this? It's so random.
Heavier items do more damage than lighter items when shot out of the junk jet. I'm going to test whether heavier items do more damage when fired from the junk jet. First, I'll shoot a super mutant with a bowling ball, which has a carry weight of 8. Then I'll use a stack of pre-war money, which has 0 carry weight. Alright, bowling ball first. Now, I'll reload my save and shoot the super mutant with the pre-war money stack. Well, it looks like it did the same amount of damage. It doesn't seem to matter how heavy the junk item is. Myth busted. You can trap feral ghouls in the Pulowski Preservation Shelter. To see if this one's true, I'm going to spawn a feral ghoul and see if I can trick it into lunging into a Pulowski Preservation Shelter, then quickly shut the door on it. Alright, is it going to open it? Ah, no, it can open it and escape.
Oh,
What
no.
the hell? You automatically contract the mole rat disease if your companion gets bitten by an infected mole rat. During the Hole in the Wall side quest in Vault 81, getting bit by any of the infected mole rats will cause you to contract the mole rat disease, permanently reducing your health by 10. But get this, even if you avoid the mole rats yourself, if your companion gets bit, you'll still catch the disease. As you can see, I'm standing on top of this generator while McCready is dealing with the mole rats, and I don't have the disease yet. Now, if McCready gets bit, there it is. I get the disease too. In fact,
dang, you get it
if you don't have
by
any
proxy.
companions during this quest,
You get it by
activating the
association.
Securitron to help clear out the mole rats will also lead you to contract the disease if
What?
it gets bit. Probably a good detail to know. Dropping the Vault 81 cure on the ground lets you save Austin and cure yourself. Supposedly, if you drop the Vault 81 cure you get from Curie on the ground while talking to Dr. Forsyth during the Hole in the Wall quest, you will be able to give him the cure while not actually giving it, basically tricking the game. So let me talk to Forsyth, then carefully open my Pit-Boy, drop the cure, and I'll continue to conversate to see if I can still give him the cure. No, the dialogue options change. I tried this multiple times, but unless I'm missing something, it seems that the dialogue option will change depending on whether or not the cure is in your inventory, and the game can pick up on that. So this myth is busted.
Well,
You can open up barred doors with splash damage in Fallout 4. According to some players,
Splash
you can
damage.
open barred doors by jumping while inside power armor. To verify this, I'm at the Boston Police rationing
Oh,
site,
they
and
mean
I'm
like
going
the
to
ground
jump in front of
stomp
the
thing that
barred
you can
door.
do.
Would you look at
Holy
that?
crap, it
opened
worked.
Up. Nice. This method appears to work primarily with the specific lock, though, not with those secured with chains.
Aw.
If you kill any of the disguised deacons, he will die permanently in the game. For those who don't
Well,
know,
no, that
before
makes
meeting
sense,
Deacon at
you
the
know?
railroad headquarters, he can actually be found stalking you in 4 different locations.
Mhm.
In Bunker Hill, disguised as a regular trader, in Diamond City as a security guard, in Good Neighbor as a drifter, and in the Memory Den while using one of the loungers. Since he is set as unkillable, I will disable his essential status and start by taking him out in Bunker Hill. Now, let's see if he appears in Diamond City. Keep in mind that I haven't visited the city yet. Oh, he's still alive.
What?
Alright, I'll kill this one too. Let's head to Good Neighbor now. It looks like it doesn't matter if you kill him in other locations. He will still appear. So I
What in the
decided to do
world?
one last test and take out both the Drifter version and the one in the Memory Lounger to see if he would still show up at the old church.
And you are? Deacon, where have you been?
You're having a party. What gives with my invitation?
He's
And
immortal!
Yes, he does. So unfortunately, killing Deacon while he's disguised will not remove him from the game permanently. You can bypass the gauntlet.
Damn,
in
now that's
the
what I
Nuka
call
World
an essential
DLC.
character.
Some players claim that you
Essential
don't have to go
NPC.
through the gauntlet at the start of the Nuka World DLC. To skip it, all you need to do is take the Nuka Express, and when you arrive at the Nuka station, just before entering the gauntlet itself, there's going to be a chained red door. You can open it by interacting with the chain through a crack in the door, and voila, you're in Nuka World.
Whoa.
However, bypassing the gauntlet does mess with the main quest. For
Aw.
example, Gage won't be found anywhere, and you can start certain side quests, but you can't complete them. Same with Open Season. You can start it and
So
kill
you can
all of
do
the
it, but
raider
it'll
leaders,
bug the hell
but
out
you
of the
can't
quest.
turn in the quest to Mackenzie. She'll just stand there frozen. To fix this, you need to enter the shack behind the Nuka-Cola car arena. There will be a locked door with a novice lock, but as long as you have a bobby pin, you should be fine. Then go through the last stretch of the gauntlet and enter the Cola Car Arena. This will fix the main quest and allow you to progress through the DLC as normal.
Oh.
Brotherhood scribes
So all
will
is not
die
lost.
if they stand on the walkway during Liberty Prime's startup. When starting up Liberty Prime in the Ad Victorium quest, he will break the walkway in front of him. But
Uh-huh.
what if there are still Brotherhood scribes on it? Will they just disappear, or are they set as essential? Let's find out. So there are 3 scribes just kind of hanging out in front of Prime's head, completely unaware of what's about to happen. Okay, I'll start up Liberty Prime.
System analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Mission. The destruction of any and
Oh my
all.
god, they all died.
Oh shit.
Prime just doesn't care. You can free the Brahmin trapped on the 2nd floor. For those who don't know, there's a random Brahmin stuck on the 2nd floor of a partially destroyed house near Longnick Lakowski's cannery.
Oh.
She can't walk down the stairs, and I guess it's too high for her to jump. So she's basically stuck living up there forever.
Aw.
I'm going to see if I can free her using the old harpoons in a bucket technique. Here's how it works. Grab a bucket, place it on the ground, and shoot harpoons all around it. For some reason, if you pick it up and push it against a character, it lets you move them. Now I'm going
What?
to push her and
Another random one.
there we go. She's free. Go on, little Brahmin. You're free. You can see the Ticonderoga safe house from Ticonderoga
that's
safe
another
house.
random
Some
one
players
that
claim
makes
you
you
can
wonder
spot a
how
low poly version
anyone
of the
figured that out.
Ticonderoga safe house in Fallout 4 while you're actually inside it, looking out through the window. Let's check it out and see if it's true. First, we'll head to the Ticonderoga safe house and find a window with a view towards the northeast. And that does look like a low poly version of the same building. To get a better view, I'm going to use console commands to move closer to the building. We'll see if it really matches the safe house. Indeed, that definitely appears to be the Ticonderoga safe house. Myth confirmed. The salvaged Assaultron head can shoot through multiple enemies. Next, I'm going to test whether the salvaged Assaultron head from the Automatron DLC can shoot through multiple enemies. To test this, I've lined up 6 ghouls, standing behind one another. I'm gonna charge this baby up. Let's see if we can take them all out. Only the first one died. Let's try again. Yeah, it looks like it can't shoot through and kill multiple enemies.
Damn.
Billy Peabody will react to his parents dying. This one might sound a little confusing, but it's said
Oh
that
yeah, I
if
think
you
I saw this
disable
one
the
before
essential
too.
status of Billy's parents, Carol and Matt, they can die during their battle with Bullet. Supposedly, Billy will react if either or both of his parents are killed. To test this, I removed their essential status and let the fight play out. And sure enough, if they both died, Billy had a reaction.
I don't care what happens to me anymore. My mom and dad are both dead.
He would also react if only one of the parents died.
I miss my mom. Why did she have to die like that?
Hi there.
My dad gets killed just after
Hi
I find
there.
him. It's
My
not
dad
fair.
is dead.
His parents also have reactions if one of them dies.
At least Matt got to see his son before he died.
Aw.
Excuse me.
Billy misses his mom. It was pretty hard on him seeing her die like that.
No shit.
So in conclusion, yes, Billy Peabody does react to his parents dying. A Sugar Bombs box can stop bullets. I'm going to test whether a Sugar Bombs box can actually stop a bullet. To do this, I'll place the box in front of an NPC and see if I can shoot through it to injure or kill the NPC. First, I'll shoot a flare to see if it passes through the box. Nope, it didn't. Now, let's try it with an actual bullet. Again, the bullet didn't go through. I tried this a few more times, and every single time the box stopped the bullet. So it looks like the Sugar Bombs box can indeed stop bullets. Myth confirmed. You can stomp on rad roaches. I didn't actually know this, but if you go into third person, unarmed, and press the attack button, then wait for your character to fully finish the animation before attacking again, they'll actually stomp on the rad roaches instead of just punching. You can't spam the attack though. If you do, the stomp won't fully play out. It sort of cancels itself from what I've seen. I spawned like 20 rad roaches in Vault 111 and just kept stomping away. It definitely works. You can destroy a flying vertibird with a death claw using the World Series baseball bat. For those who don't know, the 2076 World Series baseball bat has a unique effect that sends enemies flying into the air. With this bat, I'm going to attempt to launch a death claw directly at a Brotherhood vertibird to see if the flying death claw can destroy it. Alright, here we go. Let me try that again. I reduced the vertibird's health to see if that would help me destroy it. Nope, the Deathclaw just flies right through the vertibird. I really wanted to make this myth work, but sadly, this one's busted. You can meet Virgil early by going to his cave right out of the vault. I'm going to grab some Radaway in a hazmat suit, make my way through the glowing sea, and enter Virgil's cave. He's not here, even though his robot is present, and his terminal entries can be accessed. Virgil himself doesn't appear. I waited multiple days, entered and exited the cave several times, and even searched around the area and in the crater of Adam, but still nothing. I also tried going there just before starting the glowing sea quest, but he still doesn't show up, so looks like you can't meet him early. You can use harpoons to climb walls. For this experiment, I'm going to build a wall and see if I can scale it by shooting harpoons into it with my harpoon gun. Alright, let's give it a try. I'll shoot some harpoons and attempt to climb all the way to the top. Nice, it worked. You can indeed use harpoons to climb walls. Myth confirmed. You can kill Father with Minutemen artillery. After the Battle of Bunker Hill, you have to meet Father on the rooftop of the CIT building. If you completed the Minutemen's Old Guns quest with Ronnie Shaw, you should be able to call in artillery strikes using smoke grenades. Let's see what happens if I do that. Yup, you can indeed kill Father with artillery. Something that I didn't mention is that you do need to build at least one artillery piece in Hangman's Alley, because it's the only settlement that's in range of the CIT ruins. Brotherhood Knight Warham is wearing a Vault 111 jumpsuit. During the Lost Patrol side quest, you trace the sources of 3 distress signals to find the missing Brotherhood reconnaissance team. The first fallen Brotherhood soldiers can be found in a ruined house, south of MedTech Research. There, Knight Worm is still inside his power armor frame, next to the distress beacon. If you no-clip or free cam, you'll notice something strange. Worm is wearing a Vault 111 jumpsuit underneath his armor, and you gotta wonder, was this just an oversight by Bethesda? Or was
Probably.
there originally meant to be more to this? In any case, it's true. You can skip Piper's whole intro at the gate if you rescue Nick Valentine first. Supposedly, when starting a new game, if you avoid Diamond City and instead head straight to Vault 114 to rescue Nick first, you can skip Piper's entire intro scene at the city gate, where she argues with Danny Sullivan. So I rescued Nick, now I'm going to head to Diamond City. And yep, the gate's already open. The scene with Piper and Danny never plays. Looks like the myth is confirmed. Though Piper will still have her confrontation with Mayor McDonough. You can pacify the alien. After reaching level 20, there's a chance you might encounter a crashed alien spaceship near Oberlin Station. The surviving alien can be found hiding in a nearby cave. With the Wasteland Whisperer perk maxed out, I can pacify some of the most toughest creatures in the game, like Deathclaws and ghouls. But can I pacify the alien? Looks like unfortunately I can't. The alien is not responding to the perk. That sucks.
Well,
Damaging power armor on dead NPCs will
I'm
eliminate
glad
its
that you
carry
can
weight, but
pacify a
retain its
Deathclaw,
caps
though.
value. So to see if this is true, I'm going to use a melee weapon to damage all the power armor pieces on this dead Brotherhood soldier. As you can see, the carry weight is there, but let's see what happens if I start smashing the power armor.
nyeh, nyeh, nyeh.
Yup, there we go. The carry weight drops to 0, but the caps value of the pieces remain unchanged.
Huh.
You can survive the Moonshiner's Shack explosion. Located between Gunner Plaza, Milton General Hospital, and Hyde Park, there's a shack that explodes if you approach it. Since in regular gameplay, you can't get close enough to actually be affected by the explosion, I'll use the TCL console command to get inside the shack before it blows up. Now, let's enable collision again.
Oof.
Wow. Well, now we know that the explosion can actually kill you. Next, I'll put on some armor and see if it's enough for me to survive. Yup, as long as you wear enough armor, you can survive the explosion. You will die if you fly over the Saugus Ironworks furnace in a vertibird. There's a claim that if you fly over the furnace filled with molten lava at the Saugus Ironworks, your vertibird will crash, sending you to your death. To test this, I'll use a mod that lets me build
Hey,
and pilot my
Marshmallow.
own vertibird. I'll direct it to fly right over the furnace to see what happens.
My kitty
Well,
cat
nothing
Marshmallow
happened.
came up
I
here
tried
to...
a few more times, but it looks like this
get
myth
pets.
is officially busted. Gas canisters will explode if you shoot them while they're underwater. Normally, when you shoot gas canisters, they burst into flames. But what happens if you throw them in the water and then shoot them? Nice, they do explode. Cool.
Peek.
The solar-powered perk doesn't work indoors, even with direct sunlight. To test this one, I'll head to Cambridge Polymer Labs while it's clear and sunny out to see if the solar-powered perk works indoors. I've got rank 3 of the perk, so being in sunlight should slowly heal my radiation damage and regenerate my health. It stopped healing me, and my extra strength and endurance bonuses disappeared as well. Let me go back outside again. Yup, it's working again. But indoors, nothing. So even if there is sunlight in the building, the perk doesn't activate. The Pack Raiders in Nuka World are cannibals. In the backstage area of the Bradburton Amphitheater, now occupied by the Pack, you'll notice something peculiar: scattered unique consumables called mystery jerky and mystery bacon. These can be found on tables and even in food bowls for their various animals, implying that this mystery meat is eaten by both Pack members and their pets. But what exactly is it? Well, if you have the cannibal perk active and consume either mystery jerky or mystery bacon,
It's
you'll
human
notice
meat.
they provide an additional 25 or 50 HP, depending on your rank. This indicates that the meat is indeed human flesh,
Yeah,
confirming that the pack raiders
brother,
in Nuka World are
ugh.
cannibals, and that they're not just feeding on their victims, they're sharing it with their pets too.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
crash elevators by overloading them with Brotherhood soldiers and power armor. I'm just gonna pick a random elevator in the Commonwealth and spawn in as many Brotherhood soldiers and power armor as I can fit. Okay, now I'm gonna push the button.
Going down.
Alright, we're not crashing. I also tried the same thing in Vault 81's elevator, but that one's also unaffected by how many people in power armor are riding it. So, myth busted. Getting shot by railway spikes adds them to your inventory. I'll take out my railway rifle and first make sure I have no railway spikes in my inventory. Then I'll make this Protectron hostile, so it starts shooting me with the railway spikes. Ouch, look at that. Some of the spikes do get added to my inventory.
Whoa.
I guess that's one way to collect them. You don't need any items or caps to join the Pillars of the Community. I'm sure most people know this already, but the Pillars of the Community is a small cult based in the Charles View Amphitheater, led by a guy who tries to scam you into giving up all your belongings in order to join.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what happens if I have nothing on me? Not even a pit boy. Can I still join?
Just go ahead and give me everything you own, and I'll initiate you as a first-level pillar of the community.
Well, I don't
Here,
have anything.
this is everything I have.
Oh, you're really going to... welcome. You've made a brave step into a bright future. You're now officially a pillar of the community.
Yes, I can. Sweet.
It's
You
like
can
the
kill
same
John
dialogue
Caleb
as usual.
Bradburton without pulling the power switch in the Nuka World DLC. In the quest Cappy in a Haystack, Bradburton, the inventor of Nuka-Cola, asks you to shut down the machine that's keeping him alive. But is it possible to just kill him using regular weapons? I first tried using the alien blaster, then Adam's Judgment Super Sledge, a rocket launcher, and finally the Fat Man.
Damn.
However, none of them seem to affect him. Just to add, I did disable the essential status for all NPCs, but even then, it appears
yeah, I can
Mr.
see that.
Bradburton cannot be killed without pulling the power switch. You can
Well.
survive living on an isolated barge in survival mode. To test this, I placed my level 1 character on a barge near the Spectacle Island, with the rules that I couldn't leave or swim to gather resources. I could only use what was available on and around the barge. So there's a gourd, an empty bottle, some Rad-X, and wild tar berries growing in the water. That's about it. I tried surviving by sleeping for 24 hours at a time, drinking irradiated water when thirsty, and eating the tar berries. Unfortunately, the tar berries only regrow once a week, which isn't enough to keep me from starving. But so basically, I ended up living like an NPC, sleeping, drinking water, and waiting for the next batch of tar berries to grow. After around
Wow.
10 in-game weeks, I finally died from a combination of radiation,
Oh,
hunger, and
no.
disease. However, if you level up and unlock perks like lead belly and radiation resistance, you can live on the barge indefinitely. While you'll still starve, any damage taken from that can be healed by drinking water, and lead belly will prevent radiation damage. So, under the right conditions, you can survive living on an isolated barge in survival mode. Trash
Cool.
Can Carla is an Institute informant.
That'd be an
There's a
interesting,
rumor going around that
experiment to
Trash
do
Can
myself.
Carla, the junk hoarding caravan merchant from Bunker Hill, is actually an Institute informant. Let's dig into this and see if it's true.
Got plenty to sell if you're interested.
Trash Can Carla seems like a regular trader, but is there more to her story? We can actually find out about Institute informants by checking a terminal inside the Synth Retention Bureau. So there's Cricket, Tommy, and Trash Can Carla. Myth confirmed. Other informants on the list include Doc Weathers, AJ, Morowski, Lucas Miller, and Henry Cook. You can shoot off AC units on buildings. Supposedly, you can shoot off air conditioning units from buildings. Let's see if that's actually true. Alright, I got a clear shot at an AC unit. Let's take a few shots and see what happens. Yup, it's true.
Oh.
The AC unit falls
Neat.
off. Codsworth notices if you change your appearance after exiting Vault 111. Apparently, if you change your character's appearance between the prologue and meeting Codsworth again in Sanctuary after exiting Vault 111, Codsworth will mention your new look. So I started a new game, changed my appearance before exiting the vault, and... No, he doesn't say anything. I also ran quickly to Diamond City before talking to
I already
him
knew
to use
that
the
one
barber
because
and
I
then
would
went back to Sanctuary. Yo, the dialogue options
make
changed.
new characters
Codsworth. You're looking good. For a robot that survived an atomic war.
Well, I have picked up a few minor scratches and, dare I say, stains. But all in all, the inner workings are top-notch. And I see you've taken up a new look. I take it the missus approves?
So Codsworth does react to your look, but only after changing your hairstyle out in the Commonwealth, not in the vault.
Huh.
You can hack the racing robots and lead them around the wasteland in Fallout 4. In order to test this, first I need to clear out Easy City Downs from all the raiders and triggermen. With them out of the way, I also need a robotics expert perk to hack the robots. Now I'll try hacking the lead iBot that's racing ahead of all the other robots. Nice, it worked. Now let's command him and see what happens.
Over here.
Okay, he's following orders, and they all follow him. You could just have them run around the whole map. Myth confirmed. You can survive a vertibird crash if you're wearing power armor. Normally, when the vertibird you're flying in gets shot down, it explodes and kills you along with it. But what happens if you're wearing power armor? To test this, I hopped into my power armor and flew around the behemoth at Fort Strong, who pelts the vertibird with rocks. Let's see if I can survive the crash. Whoa!
Damn.
I thought I was dead for a second there,
Yeah,
but
me
yes, it looks like you can survive a vertibird crash if you're wearing power armor. The junk jet can poison enemies if you shoot rat poison out of it. I got some rat poison ready, so now I'm going to load it in the junk jet and shoot a raider to see if it poisons him. Doesn't seem like it. For comparison, here's what it looks like when I shoot him with a scorpion venom dart from the syringer. His health visibly diminishes over time.
Oh.
Let me try the junk jet again, but this time I'll shoot a regular settler with it. Nope, still no poison effect.
Oh,
He
that
just
would've
takes
been cool
damage
if
from
it
the
worked.
initial impact. Myth busted. It takes 10 artillery shells to kill a behemoth. I'm gonna set up 5 artillery pieces at the castle, each manned by a Minuteman and Curie. Next, I'll spawn in a regular behemoth and toss an artillery smoke grenade right at its feet. Now, let's speed up the in-game time and see how many shells it takes to bring down the behemoth.
Nice.
And there it is.
Oh, there we
10
go.
shells. Myth confirmed. You won't take damage from fragmentation grenades underwater. To test this, I'm going to throw a frag grenade into the water and quickly dive in right after it, making sure I'm fully submerged when it explodes. Nope, you still take damage even while underwater. The Vault-Tec rep can die during his travels to Sanctuary Hills.
No.
After meeting your old buddy at the Hotel Rexford, you can convince him to join you in Sanctuary, but supposedly he can die during his travel there. Let's follow him and see if that's true. Oh, wow, that was quick. I can't believe it. For some reason, I always thought he was essential. Poor
Aw.
guy. You can move immovable objects with the body of a Protectron. Here's a dead Protectron. Let's try to move this car. Normally, you can't budge this on your own. I'll hold the Protectron in front of me and push it against the car. Oh, look at that. It's actually moving. I can also knock over these barrier posts. It doesn't always work though. This old rusted car isn't budging at all. So while it doesn't work on every object, you can indeed move some typically immovable objects using the body of a Protectron. So I'll say this myth is confirmed. Power armor
Protectron
protects you
battering
from
ram.
molten metal. Let's see if power armor can protect me from molten metal. I'll run into the tipped over crucible and... Nope.
Nope.
Instant death. What about the one outside? I'll try jumping in and, yikes. Definitely not surviving that either.
Damn.
But there is actually a way. If you obtain and install the flame-resistant power armor leg mod on Raider power armor, like the one found in Sagas Ironworks, you can walk in molten metal without dying. Pretty cool.
Oh.
The
Confirmed
thirst
only if you
sapper
have
in
the
Nuka World
fire-resistant
DLC
armor.
can heal painted feral ghouls. There's another myth out there claiming that if you shoot painted feral ghouls, mostly found in Kitty Kingdom, with the thirst zapper, their health will regenerate. So here's a painted ghoul with half its health gone. Now I'm going to shoot it a couple of times with the thirst zapper. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work. I even tried modifying the thirst zapper using the Project Cobalt schematics, which allows me to use special Nuka-Cola, Cherry, and Quantum ammo, but that didn't heal the ghouls either, so I think this one's busted. You can pop the kickballs and basketballs found throughout the game. I've always wondered what happens if you shoot a basketball with a gun. Will it pop or deflate or something? Let's see.
Probably not. Nope.
Huh, nothing happens. It just bounces away. What about the kickball? I've definitely seen some laying around all deflated.
Nope.
What? That's disappointing. Turns out you can't actually pop them.
That is
You
kind
can
of
destroy
disappointing.
the town of Far Harbor with synth relay grenades. For this myth to get busted, I'll first disable the AI for a bit and spawn 10 synths using 10 relay grenades. There's no limit to how many synths you can teleport in. It all depends on how many grenades you have. For this experiment, I've decided to bring in 10 synths. Now, let's re-enable the AI and see if the synths can do it.
Primary sensor critically damaged. No life signs detected.
Wow, they did it. Turns out you only need 10 first-gen synths to take out Far Harbor. The 2076 World Series baseball bat works on lock-jointed enemies. First, I'll need a lock-joint syringe, and I'll shoot the super mutant with it. Now, I'll grab the World Series baseball bat and... Oh yeah, the way he flies off is hilarious. I also tried this on a mutant hound. The Brotherhood of Steel will help you kill Diamond City residents.
That's
After
funny.
completing the nuclear option quest and destroying the Institute with the Brotherhood, about a week later, Brotherhood soldiers will be seen patrolling Diamond City's market, with their flag flying in the city. Some players have claimed that if you start killing the Diamond City residents in front of the Brotherhood, they will actually join in and help you. Let's see if that's true. Here we go. Oh yeah, they're shooting the residents. But even with the Brotherhood's help, the Diamond City residents could still overwhelm and kill us. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend running in there and starting a shootout, even with the Brotherhood backing you up. You can make a trapper explode while he's sitting on the toilet. With my sneak skill maxed out, let's see if I can blow up this trapper while he's sitting in the outhouse. Ooh, I don't know what he ate, but whatever it was sure explosive.
Oh god.
The Soul Survivor is a synth. Some players believe the Soul Survivor is actually a synth. One of the biggest reasons is that you're able to use VATS in Vault 111 before you have a Pit-Boy. In the Institute, there's even a terminal entry suggesting that third-generation synths are capable of using VATS, or something similar without needing a Pit-Boy. But there's also solid evidence against this theory. For example, Max Loken suggests that synths are immune to diseases.
Imagine what you could accomplish if you could live without fear of hunger or disease.
Yet the Soul Survivor can catch diseases, such as the mole rat disease in Vault 81, and other illnesses in survival mode. And on top of that, if you decide to turn against the Institute, they don't use a shutdown code or override to stop you, something
true.
they do quite often with other rogue synths. Plus, if you side with the Institute, it's hard to believe they'd let a synth take command and lead the whole thing. So while it's a fun myth, the evidence seems to lean towards it not being true. Myth busted. You can enter Good Neighbor by jumping in from above. Alright, I'm going to position myself on the mass fusion building and try to jump into Good Neighbor. No power armor, just a leap of faith. If this doesn't work, I'm done.
Hey, hold up there.
Nice, it actually worked. You can enter Good Neighbor this way. Pretty cool. Shooting a Molotov cocktail midair makes it explode like a regular fragmentation grenade. Alright, I got a Molotov cocktail ready. Now I'm going to try to shoot it with my unique deliverer pistol. Oh yeah, it does explode like a regular frag grenade. Myth confirmed. The Mother of the Fog is a real person, not a mythical entity. Some players believe the Mother of the Fog is actually just a regular person, masquerading as something greater. During the visions in the Fog quest, you follow her ghostly figure through the mist, but once the vision ends, she disappears permanently. What's interesting is that out on the island, you can come across camps with notes seemingly written by her, repeating lines she says during the vision. Even more suspicious, stealth boys are found next to the letters. If she were a godly being, why would she need stealth boy tech? So, is she real? Definitely. Is she a divine figure?
You know.
Definitely not. She's just a stealth-wielding zealot, keeping the illusion alive. Myth confirmed. You can stun Deathclaws with the stun baton. The stun baton usually stuns and immobilizes human enemies. But what about a Deathclaw? After all, it's in a whole different league. Can it be stunned too? Yup, it actually works.
Cool.
The stun baton can immobilize them too,
That's
making
good to know.
it a surprisingly useful weapon if you're running a melee build. You can kill the fish in Far Harbor. I'm not sure if many players notice, but there are actual fish swimming in the water in Far Harbor. So I want to test if you can kill them, and maybe even add them to your inventory. First, I'll try with my 10mm pistol. Nothing. Next, let's toss a frag grenade. Nope, still alive. Okay, how about a mini nuke? Nope, they're still swimming like nothing's happening. So, it seems you can't kill the fish swimming in Far Harbor.
Damn it.
Creating a robot companion
So
and
much
then
for
dismissing it
dynamite
permanently
fishing.
gives it the essential tag. To test this myth, I'll first create a basic robot, but not make it my companion. Then I'll kill it via console commands to see if it dies permanently.
Shutdown imminent.
Okay, it does. Next, I'll create the same type of robot again and ask it to join me as a companion. Then I'll dismiss it and tell it to stay in Sanctuary. Now, let's see what happens if I try to kill it.
A pleasure to see you again, sir.
It has become essential. Nice. This is a pretty good way to protect your settlements. You can survive jumping from the tallest building in Fallout 4 while in power armor. To test this, we need to go to Trinity Tower, which is the tallest building in the game, where you can meet Strong and Rex Goodman. I got my power armor ready. Let's see if I can survive the jump.
Come on, come on, come on.
Look out below!
Yes,
Holy
I survived,
shit, it
and
worked.
I didn't take any damage at all. The salvaged Assaultron head can be used as a stim pack. We know that the salvaged Assaultron head from the Automatron DLC gives 50 or fewer rads every time you fire it, depending on whether you have the rad resistant perk. But did you know that with the Ghoulish perk, the weapon can actually function as a crude stim pack? Watch as I fire the head and the radiation heals me. Another interesting feature of this weapon is that you can throw grenades while the Assaultron head is equipped, and it will still cause radiation damage without you needing to fire it. You can shoot down the Pridwin when it arrives in the Commonwealth. After finishing the Reunion's main quest and dealing with Kellogg, you'll witness the Brotherhood's airship, the Pridwin, arriving in the Commonwealth. But is it possible to shoot it down right there and then? I've got a couple of rockets ready. Let's see if I can blow it up.
We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
The the rockets went straight through it. I don't think I can actually damage it at all. It
Well,
seems like it's more of a ghost ship.
the
flying through
superhero
the air
landing.
until it
Yeah!
lands at the airport.
You're right.
So you definitely can't.
Bro pulled a
You
superhero
can
landing,
sleep in the
and
tents
it
found
worked.
in the Far Harbor DLC. I didn't know this until researching for this video,
Oh.
but you can actually sleep in these tents found around the island.
Oh, nice.
A pretty useful thing to know, especially if you're playing on survival mode.
Mhm.
These 2 tents are located at the National Park campground, but there are a few others spread across the island. You can kill Kellogg with just your fists at level 1. After exiting Vault 111, I'm going to teleport straight to Kellogg in Fort Hagen. I'll add some Stimpaks to my inventory, along with Psycho and Jet. I'll also disable the synths around Kellogg to make the fight more fair. Let's do this.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, it's actually working. Come here, you. Well, what do you know? You can kill Kellogg with just your fists at level 1.
Damn.
As long as you got a ton of Stimpaks and chems. You can help Z247 Courser in Green Tech Genetics. Apparently, you can assist the Courser you track down during the Hunter Hunted quest at Green Tech Genetics by helping him recall Jenny, the runaway synth. To do this,
Whoa.
avoid initiating dialogue with the Courser. Instead, as soon as you enter the room, quickly run to the red toolbox under the stairs and grab the password for the locked security door where Jenny is hiding. This will trigger a special scene between the 2 synths.
K-198, your little adventure is over. It's time to go home.
No, please. You don't have to do this.
Relax. You won't feel a thing. K-198. Recall code.
I'm begging
Stratus.
you. Don't do this.
Mama Murphy is the female scientist who took Sean from Vault 111. There's a
What?
popular theory among Fallout fans that Mama Murphy might be the scientist who took
That's the
baby
first time
Sean
I've heard
from Vault
that one.
111. The reasoning is that her age roughly matches the timeline, and she possesses the mysterious power called the Sight, which is likely a result of FEV experiments tied to the Institute. Plus, she shows deep knowledge of Sanctuary Hills. And intriguingly, in one of her sight visions, she reveals the exact recall code for the Z247 Courser, something only someone connected to the Institute would know. However, despite these clues, the game never explicitly confirms any direct connection between Mama Murphy and the Institute's abduction of Sean. Moreover, the age timeline doesn't quite add up. Mama Murphy is portrayed as being in her 60s or early 70s at most. That means at the time Sean was taken, she would have been around 10 years old. As for her knowledge of Sanctuary Hills, it's more likely that the scientists were teleported directly into the vault instead of just walking there, because after all, the sole survivor has to open the main door from the inside before the elevator after awakening. So while the theory is interesting, the evidence doesn't fully support Mama Murphy being the scientist who took Sean. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this myth is busted.